So, a Nigerian young lady recently shared a video where she cried out after allegedly some people, a man actually, slapped her, sexually assaulted her in Ajah area of Lagos State. The lady said that at the park, people were laid around her. No, nobody actually came to her help. So they took her item, an item to her, and they said that somebody, I'm trying to get the story right.
She had gone to the park to send items to her mom.
Yes, exactly.
So while she was there, somebody came and harassed her, and he touched her breast, and and she slapped him. I think slapped his hand off. I'm not sure of that. Slapped him off. He had touched her breast, and then he proceeded to beat her while everybody just stood watching while he got away with it.
All right, so let me call for the video so we can see exactly what happened.
Because I haven't seen the video.
I was going to the park to deliver something to my mom just now when one guy from this park right here, the guy assaulted me. He asked me if I was going. I said I am not going. The next thing, this guy started pressing on the road and hitting my hand. When I slapped the guy back, the guy started beating me. He found me on the floor and hit my leg. He was pressing my neck. He almost strangled me here. And everybody here, all these men who said the thing. Look at what I was going to deliver to my mom. I was going to deliver this bag to my mom when this guy assaulted me on the road and started beating me for no reason.
Now, so the reason why we thought it was important to take this story is because her story is a story a lot of people can relate to, especially in Lagos when you go into markets, you go into crowded places, young girls are harassed. And not only, to make it worse, nobody often comes to their aid because, hey, what, are you the only person? Are you the only person that they are touching? I mean, I have been in that situation where you go to Tejoso Market and they are touching your breast, touching your bum, pulling you, Balogun Market, the whole works. So the conversation now is, how do we change this trend? Because it's a young girl trying to defend herself. The guy touched her and she slapped him, maybe because she's heard that, and listen, it's not like before where you just walk away. We respond to him. So do we tell this girl, no, when they touch you, just walk away? Or how does a girl like this get help? That's really the conversation I want to have this morning.
For me, I think it's just so sad. I just think it's so sad that nobody came to her aid. Nobody. And what am I going to... Because I would react the same way. If you touch my breast, I will slap you. Get out. It's my breast, not your own. What gives you the right? So what we have to do now is address those people that watched him beating her.
Good. And
do nothing about it. Eh? Maybe we all read Bible. Am I my brother's keeper? Or you all read Bible? Because I don't follow you to read it, but I've read it. Am I my brother's keeper?
So, so there are many shades of wrong here. One, we need to get to, from the introduction, Mariah also mentioned, I think it was like 4 years ago, that I was really moving a campaign against objectification, how you go to the market, people just feel like they can touch you and harass you because you're wearing something short or all of that. And in this case, the girl said someone propositioned her, and she said she wasn't interested. And the man went ahead to touch. The audacity that we have accepted in our society for men to feel like they have a right to hit you. What do you mean? You look like you are interested. She said no. And then when things escalate, we look away. And we didn't used to be like that, but we're gradually going to that point where people just mind their business so much to the detriment of it could just be you tomorrow. It could be your daughter tomorrow. It could be your sister tomorrow. If something is going wrong, speak up. Even if there's no police officer or somebody there that you can shout out to, go there and say, why you dey beat am? What till you do you? That's the society we grew up in. We don't mind our business. That's the way we are. We raise each other up. We protect one another, but we're losing that. So you see people go around, they'll just carry their phone, record what is happening, but they don't speak up. If that girl had been pushed and she hit her head and died, there would be a video clip showing what happened, but nobody stood up to protect her. And we need to stop that.
The thing is, first of all, I want to say thank you to her for making that video. Because I remember as a young girl when that thing happened to me, I just froze. I didn't do anything. Like, there were about 4 boys, and they were walking towards me, and each one of them grabbed my breast as they walked past me, as a teenager then. And there were people just sitting by the roadside and they were watching. A few people said, sorry. and that was it. You know, and then I don't think I ever said anything to anyone because I felt ashamed. I felt like I was the one at fault. Yeah, I felt like I was the one even at fault. Like, what could I have done to have attracted that? But the part that is most scary is that nobody even got up to even find out what happened. At least even if you were not aware that he touched her, but to see someone beating up somebody else, you should have gotten up. And then we have this situation in India where women are actually raped in front of people and nothing happens. And that is not where we want to go. So they've gone to the point where when they catch you and prosecute them, they hang them. But you know, I used to always say that this can never happen in Nigeria. That people would harass other people and there will be no one to stand up for you, and it just seems like that's what's happening.
You know what? There was a gentleman that I know that used to do our curtains back then. He used to work in St. Joshua Market. And I don't know when he came to install one of our curtains back then. He was having this kind of conversation, and he said that listen, the reason why people sometimes don't help is because if you try to help, that moment happens, the girl goes, but the community, the boys there, gang up against you because you've embarrassed them by doing that. So they're also trying to protect themselves. But so I think now the onus should be on government to ensure that we do the same way we are campaigning. Wear your face mask. All these little campaigns, the Ministry of the Ministry of Women Affairs. These are things you need to do where you have billboards. You have radio radio jingles telling people how to behave. Young people, protect the girls, protect the young boys. But you know, there has to be communication, continuous communication, as you've always said, YK, where in the market especially, don't touch anybody, don't harass. Sexual harassment is bad. These are the kind of communication we should have at market because it is very prevalent in our markets, not just markets, even crowded places.
And we have just crowded places. We have ideologists, we have babalogas, we have market leaders who gets stipends from these markets. It goes beyond saying you want to fix the markets. It goes to saying that this is the kind of society I want my children to grow up in because we all have children. And this is this has been ongoing for years. I went to Yaba College of Technology. You don't go to Yaba wearing skirts because you know that they will touch everything touchable on your body in the name of trying to drag you in. And it is still going on till now. We live in a society where we crowd ourselves into buses. So you stand in the bus, you are holding, and somebody behind you is rubbing, and we don't decisive as a society fight this thing. There's a whole lot that can be done.
I'd like to invite our callers. You can call us on 081-270-53687. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag UABTVC. I'd like to hear your thoughts. I have another number for you, 091-390-76948. And I know it's going to be scrolled. So I'd like to hear from you because lots of young girls, especially the younger adults, go through this experience. And I'd like to take Blessing from Abuja. I'm told she's waiting on the line. Blessing, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Good morning.
Blessing, I can't hear you. Go ahead, please.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me now?
Okay, it's a bit far away, but we'll try to hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
My own advice to ladies, to girls, all these things, their parents should teach them how to learn how to you know, taekwondo.
Yes.
They should teach them so that any man that touches them like that, they beat the hell out of that man.
Yes, I agree with you.
That is my advice. Parents should put their children in this taekwondo training school, whereby any man that touches them, they deal with that man very well.
Thank you.
They should not tolerate that. We are in a generation whereby people don't help now. So you try to look for what to help you. Don't leave any man to molest you or do anything rubbish to you.
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
That's my own advice to her.
Thank you very much, Madam Blessing. Really appreciate you. You know, the same way we give out rice to all the palliatives, give out pepper sprays to young people. In the market, you have to empower.
Pepper spray is not even allowed. That's why I'm it's illegal.
And Oba actually gave it out during this issue. One of the Oba Oluo, he gave out quite a bit of
so
pepper spray.
They should ask him how he bought it in. It is illegal and they catch you with it.
Are you for real?
I'm for real.
Oh wow, I didn't know
I am for real.
And
that's why I don't understand that Minister of Defense that said we should defend ourselves, because I don't know whether it's our team.
We need to find it. Well, I don't know why.
Pepper spray should not be illegal.
Because actually it is done to protect mainly against rape. It is something that girls can use, sexual assault. It is what girls can use to protect themselves easily, because we might not, how many people, even if you know how to fight taekwondo, how many people know how to fight, how would you punch someone?
Yes, they're stronger than you.
A man can overpower you easily, so it goes beyond, for me, I still think in communal support, and I've said this thing before on the show years back, that there was a time where I grew up, there was a overhead bridge that I was supposed to take, and I'll cross the road, and one day, I was about to cross the road, and my mom just called. Don't cross the road. I was like, what just happened? Somebody, 2 people called her. Papa is about to cross the road again. She should take the bridge. That is the way we grew up. Everybody is looking out for you. If your child is going into somebody's house, don't go into that house. There are boys in that house. He's always going there. We would all do this. We raise ourselves. We can't let this happen.
You're right. What our caller was saying is that the world is changing, and there used to be a way where we raised our daughters, where you waited for your hero to rescue you, and she's just saying that, you know, and she's just saying that women should be raised differently now because of the different world that we have found ourselves in. Concerning that taekwondo, I know my husband is very impressed with my daughter doing that, and I know a few people like NGOs that talk about gender-based violence also teach self-defense classes to women. So it is important that we incorporate that into our schools and just teach young people, boys and girls, how to protect themselves.
Let me take Josephine. She's been holding for a while. Josephine, are you there?
Hello.
Thanks. You're live. Go ahead, please. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, my first time calling in.
Welcome to the show, Josephine.
Right. Yeah, so I listened to the last caller, and I support the idea of training girls to be able to defend themselves. But if I take the example of Maria, what taekwondo would she have used to defend herself against 4 guys? So I really think we need to be our brothers' keepers, our sisters' keepers. It's so heartbreaking to see that that girl was going through that, crying, lamenting, and everybody was going about their activities. So we need to really show more concern and empathy towards one another. And I would really appreciate if the authority, in this case, fish out the culprit in this instance and use him as an example, as a deterrent. So other guys and men out there who think that a woman is just a thing, a piece of tool that you can touch anyhow. So it should be dealt with, and it should be publicized. So the same way you have pictured this poor lady crying on TV, the man should be seen to be dealt with, and I think that would encourage other people from behaving in such a disrespectful manner.
Thank you very much.
That's my little contribution.
Thank you very much, Josephine. All right, let's go on a quick break. We're going to come back and continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. All right, so, I mean, YK said something that about pepper spray possibly being illegal. And if it is illegal, I think it's time for our House of Assembly leaders to look at this, to see how we can legalize it, such that we have to find ways to protect our young girls and even young boys. Because these days we hear that there are women grabbing boys from different corners. You never know what the nannies, you know, people that they know and all that. So we have to find ways to realize, to understand how important this girl, because if this girl looks like a strong young girl, but there's some girls that are not this strong, where they don't even have the boldness to make a video like this. And then they go and they breaks them. It breaks them.
This girl slapped and she lashed out. This girl,
not only was she strong, she didn't run away from the park. She stood there and made the video. That is strength. Because I would have thought, this place where they beat me, I will fly. Video, okay. I will fly away from that place. So she's brave. Not only strong.
What if the girl that is not brave? The girl who breaks,
breaks. That is what I was. And this, my brother's keeper. I remember once when I went to France when I was very, very young. I saw this young 13-year-old or 12-year-old boy smoking, and I was like, what? So I wanted to go and say, hey, come on, they don't do that here. I say, because in my country, if I see a 13-year-old, whether I know his family or not,
you tell him off.
I will go and meet him and say, will you drop that? And he dare not say a word.
No, my mom was like that.
That was Nigeria. That was the Nigeria of
them.
This is, I'm talking 20 years ago.
No, why
30 years ago.
Just, I got married 10 years ago, like 15 years ago, my mom would see somebody somebody out in the area that is wearing black shirts, and my mom would say, remove it, wear your singlet, I'll buy you shirts. And the next day she would give the person money, because if you wear black shirts at night, if accidents happen, you are not seen. like, we used to be like that. We used to feel like, this color, why will you wear color kinik on your head? Let me give you money. Cut the hair, do another one. You know, but like, we took ownership. We were building one another. And now we've become so isolated. Everybody fences, your fences are high. Nobody's facing anybody.
Part of that isolation.
Now, I can take this call from
social media.
He's been holding for a while. Shegun from Ikoyi, thanks for calling. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, the topic is a very interesting topic to me.
Okay.
And, hello?
Yes, we can hear you clearly. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Back there was a movie, one of the best Nigerian movies, 2018. The title is The Day of My Wedding. It's a much movie, just similar to what program is. This guy came from the UK, preparing for his wedding. The wife stays in Nigeria. The wife went to the Dumota market. It's a movie with the in-laws to buy our wedding material. Just like the way you see, these Dumota boys, Yoruba and Igbo boys started harassing the lady, touching her. They call her in the movie, she's Lagos color, lady's name. So the problem I want to say now is that it now turned to an issue that the in-laws are trying to protect the wife of their brother. They now start each other. For the serious case, they start each other. So the Idumota boys in this movie are gangs of armed robbers that sells materials. They just use that selling of materials as a cover. It's a movie. Go and watch this movie. Very popular movie, interesting.
Okay.
So they stop this wedding. These guys, they will need to pay back because they stabbed their own brother and they stabbed the lady's in-law. Both victims trying to take revenge. They now attended the same hospital. So what I'm trying to say now is that it's good we educate our society about harassment on ladies. Federal show market, Idumota. They do these things a lot. And if you imagine, they follow this guy up to his wedding day to the church in the movie, just for them to pay a revenge.
Thank you very much for that, Shegun, because we should declare a state of emergency. I think the Commissioner of Women Affairs should declare that emergency within the sector to ensure it's not just Lagos State. In Aba, we have this happening even where we have those in the cities, the major cities where we have big markets. It's very important.
The truth is, I'm 60 almost, and I was harassed at the markets when I was a young girl.
Right.
I remember people touching you.
Yes.
You don't touch me. I don't know you. Why are you touching me? I don't touch you. So it has now, what has happened now, it has escalated from then to now.
Because nothing was done, YK.
Exactly.
Yes.
Nothing was
so
done
it has
then.
now become
almost a culture.
And yes, so it's become normal.
Yeah.
And it is not normal. And I was talking about social media. On social media, you will see, if I'm on social media at 60, a 20-year-old boy can just talk to me and say, you are an idiot.
Yes.
I'm your mother's mate. Can you tell your mother that? So they don't even have respect when they are talking to, whether it's their elder, why is this one opening her big mouth?
Yes.
You know, they do that.
Social media.
That is, they have thrown away their upbringing.
Yeah, really bad.
Nigerian. So I want to implore the young people, when you're on social media, just look at the age of the person you're talking to.
It's not even about the age. It's just also, right now there's just a widespread culture of disrespect. So even if there's no face to the name that you think you're engaging with, if you just know at the back of your mind or the front of your mind that everybody you engage with them respectfully. So it does not matter if it ends up that the person behind the name that you're talking to is much older or younger. That is how we should address each other. And that shows, really, you're right, is the way we disrespect each other in real life that will carry it onto social media.
Let me take this call from Elizabeth. Elizabeth, are you there? Thanks for calling. Ooh, we lost that call. Oh, she's there?
Thank you for taking my call.
Elizabeth.
I just wanted to
it's not so clear, Elizabeth. We're trying to...
She has to turn down
our TV.
Can you hear? Elizabeth, are you there? Oh, please call her back. We really need to speak to Elizabeth. I mean, I had shared this experience before, you know, many years ago in an office. I mean, mine didn't happen in the market. It happened in an office. You know, a celebrity came to the office at the time, and the celebrity was this short, and I was taller than the celebrity. And it was almost as if he's never seen a woman before, I don't know. Because his head was at my chest level, he just touched me like that. I mean, I came in front of him, and he just touched me. And I froze. And people were there. My guy was there, everybody was there, and everybody froze like, okay.
What's happening?
And things just went back to normal. And as much as I tried to make it, I spoke to my boss about that. I didn't like what he did. He said, listen, we're trying to get this guy to do something. You know, we can't find a way to just ease the whole thing out. And that had really affected my person. I mean, I was a young worker. I was a young person at the time. And I didn't find it funny. I wasn't as strong as this young girl who has the capacity to just say, you know, I'm frozen too. I froze. Until now, I still remember that experience, and I still remember exactly what happened, and I wish I had spoken up.
So I think that generally people around, your colleagues at that time, boss should have spoken up. And as a society, we should stop playing lip service to protecting the weaker ones. What we do is place, every company has policies against sexual harassment. But how many people actually say that somebody is penalized for sexual harassment? We have somebody in TVC where she just came here. She's a makeup artist and she's now producing a show. Because of her shape, it was major in TVC. The harassment was, everybody was looking, they were taking pictures. It was like, she didn't want to walk downstairs. Why can you remember? She wouldn't walk downstairs alone because she felt everybody was just always looking at her. And we allow it. So, but we shouldn't just...
But you can't blame them, Sha.
She's big.
We should not excuse it. Let's not excuse it.
No. I mean, they can't just have boy admire her.
So,
they were not harassing her.
thing.
Nobody was touching her.
Wasn't harassed. Yes,
it wasn't.
Yes, but we're looking, yes.
Is there a sin in looking?
No, there's no sin in looking.
Look
with respect. Look with
yes.
you look and glance away.
You see, I'm a woman. I used to look.
No. But what I'm saying, please let me land this point.
Don't bring her into the...
No, so that's not a good example.
What I'm saying,
no,
where I'm going to...
example.
Please let me land the point. Where I'm going to is that when we... What I'm going to is that when we accept and we don't comment, because at the point we had to comment, people commented, they actually discussed it and then it reduced. So when we talk about things, we are able to address the issue. Human beings would look, it's normal. Human beings will look and then they will want to touch. It's normal. But when we realize that you are invading somebody else's space and affecting the person's self-esteem, we must discuss it.
Let me
so
take
it was
Richard
discussed here and it was dealt with.
Which has been holding from Abalende. Richard, are you still there? Oh, I'm so sorry. We need to call these guys back because I really want to hear their thoughts this morning.
Okay, so I was just going to go to your point about paying lip service to protecting people who are assaulted. And you're right, because I know someone who, when she served, she was harassed by her boss. She was there for her NYSC, and they had night duty. And of course, they used most of the coppers for night duty. And he would come in and he would first place his hands on her shoulder and knead her shoulder. You know, she would be uncomfortable and tell him off. And I know this person, naturally, she would not take any nonsense. So she would throw it and tell you off. And she does not care whoever you are, whether you are the boss or whoever it is. But people like that, I find, get into trouble. The fact that you have the audacity to stand up for your right and talk to someone who is supposed to be your boss, even though that person is clearly wrong and you're in the right, people like that get moved away from there, from the jobs, or they'll move you to another office, another branch, away from the person, the perpetrator of the crime. Meanwhile, that person carries the shoulder and does it to the next person, does it to the next person. You would hear office gossip like, oh, that's how he is. But nobody will do anything concrete about it.
Let me take Samuel from Songo. Samuel, are you there? Morning, thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, the issue of these molesting women is very, very bad. Like, it do happen to men too. Like me, I'm the type that has a big shirt on the back. So I was working with an Indian company some time ago, and anytime I'm passing, they will just grab my boots and say that I'm like a lady. So something like that normally affects people, and it's very bad. We need the Nigerian government to really work on it.
Thank you very much.
That's my view.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel.
I didn't really get it.
Yeah, so he's also talking about how women harass him and grab his behind. But the thing is, that's the conversation a lot of us, when we hear men say that they were harassed or touched, we laugh about it. Like, he must have enjoyed, yes, he must have enjoyed it. He must have, like, lucky you are getting that kind of attention, but it's just as bad.
But you know, there are men that have butts. They have they have butts and they have some kind of flesh on their chest, and those kind of people get harassed. People touch their bum, touch their chest. Like, you're a woman. Go and wear bra. So those things hurt, especially a young teenager. You do that to a teenager, it affects his entire psyche. So these are little things we take for granted. You don't be man. See how your bum just a shake. I mean, those little things you say that when you know it,
and it affects. That's what we don't understand. When you do that, you are affecting in the long run.
Their subconscious mind after like
what happens is they enter either depression or they become just bad people because they have been so undermined.
Well, I'll tell you how it affected me. Apart from those boys, it's happened to me many times. You know, young men will just come up to you, and you're a young girl growing up, and probably you're just, budding. And many times, I remember sitting with one of my friends and I said to her that, do I have prostitutes written? Because for me, I just thought that there's some people who were born to be prostitutes and that men would look at them a certain way. So I thought that there must be something about me that attracted men in that way. And I did not have, how our Nigerian parents are. There are some subjects that you don't talk about them. So I did not know to go to my mother to say I was being harassed because I already felt it was my fault, that there was something about me that made them. There was something, and I was so skinny and whatever. It just tells you the mind of man.
I have a call, I believe. Wale from Oshun, thanks for calling. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Morayo, and every other one. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, sorry, I just want to comment on the issue you are discussing this morning.
Yes, please.
You see, one of the challenges that we are having is not about ladies alone. The general...
Wale, are you still there?
I'm here.
Yes, go ahead.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, the challenges we have is that, like you were discussing the other time, that we don't really be our brother's keeper anymore and the likes like that. When you see people, in those days when we were growing up, we can go to neighbor's house, relatives, and every other person. We relate with them freely. But nowadays, you yourself, you need to cut it. That no, don't go to that person because everybody is it. People don't tend to defend one another in the society anymore. And we have several organizations in the country where it's functioning. Do they really orientate?
Okay. We need
there are loads of tweets. Mike Davidson, keep slapping until you will get killed. I will not advise any woman to be engaging men in combat. I condemn every harassment against women, but I'm against physical confrontation. Culprits can be identified, arrested, and prosecuted. We have lost many women to this confrontation. Joseph Sheyi says, this harassment has to stop. It's so prevalent. Our girls should have pepper spray. The people can ignore if someone stole. Now we'll be back to beat, but we look out for each other. Billy Case, at Miriam Longe, we have paid lip service to this matter for too long. It's an assault, it's sexist, and a human rights violation. It's unacceptable. There should be prosecution for this abuse. Effium, Antigua, you want to go on?
Yeah, Wardrobe MD says, good morning, ladies. Like Ryo said, an awareness should be done in form of jingles to inform these young guys that molesting is a crime and it is a punishable offense. This awareness should be done always. It can maybe reduce the rate of rape and harassment in Nigeria.
We have to wrap on this, but thank you very much, ladies. And our hearts go out to that girl, and we just want to let you know that you're very bold, as like you said, confident girl, and we just hope that this experience will not change the confidence you have in yourself. This is a girl that seemed to be strong and has good home training. Yes. I mean, her mother was sending her on an errand, so she was actually doing exactly what her mother wanted her to do. So we just hope that this experience happened because they are the bad people, not you. You are a good person, and you do not deserve it. You do not deserve to be harassed and touched that way. But we wish you all the best. That's all we can take on this. When we come back, we'll move on to another topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.